Hey, what is up, people? Today, this is going to be the ultimate complete guide to beginners for Pokemon Go. And I will be explaining everything you need to know in Pokemon Go in order for you to get an understanding on how this game works and pretty much all the mechanics. It's actually pretty easy, it's just it takes a little bit of time to learn everything when you're new to it. Anyways, go ahead and click OK, accept the terms of service, and go ahead and finish through this dialogue. I already read through the dialogue, so I'm not really going to get into depth into that. Click on your character, if you're a boy or a girl, choose your character, and I'm going to choose this character, and I'm going to set him up as that. Anyways, in this game, you really get into your adventure as soon as possible, which is pretty fast, and there are Pokemon nearby. So anyways, here are some Pokeballs. These will help you capture ones. He gives you like 50 of them, and you'll have like 50 Pokeballs. Anyways, the first thing that I'm going to teach you guys is how to capture a Pokemon. They really don't give you a tutorial on how to capture a Pokemon. They make you assume that you know how to capture a Pokemon without even telling you a proper tutorial about the circle around it. So anyways, choose your starter, whether you like Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. In this case, we're gonna go ahead and go with a Squirtle. Now, you can turn on your camera on for the app. I personally don't turn it on right now because I'm making a purpose of this video. I may turn it on later. You can turn it on if you want. It doesn't really matter. Some people prefer it on and some people prefer it off. But if you turn it on, you'll be able to see the environments areas. I'll turn it on later. So, I kind of like it. There's an advantage when you actually turn it off because you can go ahead and see the environment made from it, so it gives you a better aim to throw it at your Squirtle. So what you want to do is picture yourself playing Angry Birds. Make a calculation on how you're going to throw the Pokeball. And the running man as well in the left corner is to run away, or the AR if you want to use the camera. Anyways, what we're going to do is throw a Pokeball. That one went wrong, and I'm gonna throw it the way you have to throw it. Throw it exactly as Squirtle. Okay. We're gonna miss a couple of times, but there we go. We threw a great hit right there, and Squirtle went into the Pokeball. You may have to practice it a couple of times. Usually when the green circle is around, it means you're in the perfect way to throw it. So anyways, when you capture Pokemon, you gain experience for your character. This will be a character level that will give you items each time you level up. For example, it may be potion, Pokeballs, it may be quick revives, or anything that may be of use. Now let me explain what Stardust is. Stardust, in my opinion, is basically experience points that will help you level up your Pokemon and make them stronger, because the CP is actually the level in Pokemon, which I will explain. And the little circle ball on the end are called candies. What these candies do is that every time you capture a Pokemon, they give you candies, and they will allow you to evolve your Pokemon using that type of method. So candies are basically essentially the evolve methods. If you collect a certain amount, they will be able to evolve your Pokemon. CP is your power level, basically like your level. If you ever played Pokemon, is your level. And you get experience points for a new Pokemon. You get 500 experience points for each new Pokemon that you capture around your area. If it's new, you'll get 500 experience points. If you catch a Pokemon, if you already caught the Pokemon, you recapture another one, you get 100 experience points. Now here's where it gets really weird. You actually have to capture the same Pokemon over and over again if you want to level it up. So if you see the same Pokemon and you already got it, I recommend you capture it, because it's not only going to give you 100 XP, but you'll also be able to do another stuff to get rid of it for candies to evolve your current Pokemon. So anyways, we're going to click OK, and we got it registered to our Pokedex, and we got a Squirtle registered to that. Now, I'm not going to go all the way down, because down it tells me my location, and I don't want to share it. Anyways, as you can see, the Stardust are the experience points, and to power up this Squirtle, you need 200 Stardust by capturing Pokemon or doing certain things in the game. And to evolve it, you need Squirtle candies. What you see on the side And this one only has 3 Squirtle candies. In order to evolve the Squirtle, you're gonna need to have 25 Squirtle candies. In order to get 25 Squirtle candies, you're going to have to capture more Squirtles in the wild in order to get those. And down there, it tells you the tackle has a 12 damage and the water plus has a 30 damage. Anyways, the Stardust that we currently have is only 100, and this requires 200 in total. So the Stardust is actually our total. As you can see, we have 100 in total of Stardust. We don't really got that much. You'll have to get more later on when you capture more Pokemon. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and check that out. And there, we capture our first Pokemon. He congratulates you, and then he tells you, "Hey, put a name for your character." Okay, we're gonna. So now he's indicating me these spots called Pokespots. What these Pokespots may be sculptures, monuments, places, and locations. What Pokespots are essentially is that they give you items. For example, Pokeballs, revives, or eggs. I'm going to show you guys. And move in the real world, move your avatar to these Pokespots. Now, I'm going to show you a Pokespot pretty far from me. As you can see, there's some Pokespots over there. There's another Pokespot over there, and there's a gym over there. Now I'm going to show you one that's pretty far away from me. This is a Pokespot, and basically what a Pokespot does is allows you to check on what this is. When you get to a Pokespot, click on it on the map. You have to be within the circle range that it's blinking, and you have to swipe the middle of it, and it'll turn purple. And when it turns purple, it'll give you different items such as Pokeballs. You click on the Pokeballs and the stuff that come out of it in little bubbles. You click on them and they will give you those items, and you swipe it and all the items will come out. It could be Pokeballs, potions, revives, or any other type of stuff that may appear in it. And once you swipe it, but you have to be near the Pokespot because we're too far. As you can see, we're too far of this Pokespot. We had to walk there physically, or we have to drive there physically. Anyways, those are the Pokespots, and what they basically do, they give you 100 experience points, they give you items, so they give you more Pokeballs in the long run, and you should be set to go to those Pokespots. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is the items list. You have the ability to capture more Pokemon, and you initially get 50 Pokeballs, which is a standard that they give you. And they give you Incense, which is a mysterious fragrance that lures wild Pokemon to your location for 30 minutes. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and use that fragrance so we can capture more Pokemon. We're gonna go ahead and use it, and then we're gonna wait for Pokemon to come to our location. As you can see, there is nearby an Eevee, Pidgey, Eevee, and a Pidgey. The next thing that I'm going to show you guys is the Pokemon Gym. The Pokemon Gym, you have to reach level 5 in order to start battling from the gym. What basically you'll see at the Poke Gym is a Pokemon already transferred there from your opponent, and it should be probably like at level 100. I believe this one is at a level 123 CP, which is the power level of that Pokemon. Now here's where we get to the next thing okay. So, as you can see, a Pokemon that has lured to our location, we click on it, it's a Wild Spearow, and what you want to do is go ahead and throw a Pokeball at it, keep practicing. I still practice because it's kind of hard at certain points, but it gets easier after you practice. I wasted like 2 Pokeballs. Try not to waste many, try to learn it in some way. If you're gonna have a secondary account or your main account, you don't want to mess it up, practice in the secondary. As you can see, since this is a new Pokemon and it's going to be registered to our Pokedex, we get 500 experience points. And since we caught the Pokemon, we also get 100 experience points. So we got 600 experience points, and we get 100 Stardust, and as well as 3 candies. Each time you capture a Pokemon, you may get some Stardust or some candies. Anyways, it's going to show us, it's going to register to the Pokedex, and that's what it's going to show us. As you can see, it has we can power it up with 200 Stardust, but I'm not going to do that. And then it has the Spearow candy, which it requires 50 in order to evolve this Spearow. I really don't think it's worth evolving it into the evolution. And the other thing that I want to explain to you guys, what is CP? CP, in my opinion, is kind of like the level that your Pokemon is at. It's basically the level that your Pokemon is at. If you play Pokemon, you probably have like level 1, level 5, level 100 Pokemon. Well, CP in here is different numbers that go by different numbers. They can go up to 200, 400, I believe. I'm not sure. I haven't gone to the maximum yet. But that's basically what your level is. The higher the CP is, the stronger your Pokemon becomes. And in order to power up your CP or level it up, your experience points are the Stardust, which you can power up. Now, I don't recommend using your Stardust in the beginning on a Spearow that only has a CP of 10. I recommend that you capture more wild Spearows, the same replicate of this Pokemon, because they may be at a higher level of CP before you power it up or evolve it. So I don't recommend you do that to the Spearow at the moment, only when you get to the point where you have a couple of them. Alright, so usually what they do is they appear around your location. As you can see, we got the incense going on, but we're gonna probably have to wait. And we leveled up to level 2, so you get experience points and they give you more Pokeballs each time you level up. And as you can see, we leveled up there, and we gotta wait for more Pokemon. Another thing that I'm gonna mention right off the bat, so you guys can know how the egg hatching. In certain Pokespots, they will give you eggs that you can actually hatch, but you have to walk around a certain miles or kilometers, depending where you're at, in order for it to hatch. And usually where that appears, it's in your Pokemon's area. When you click on your Pokemon area, you go to your eggs, and your eggs should appear here. What you want to do on the bottom right corner, you want to click on the incubators, and then you click on the incubator, and then you choose an egg to incubate. And this will allow you to hatch your egg while you're walking. It'll give you how much you have to walk in order to hatch that egg. And you get a certain limit amount of eggs, depending on the Pokestop that you go to. Right now, we currently don't have an egg, so we're not going to put any in the incubator. But if you have one, you have to put it in the incubator in order to hatch that egg, and then you have to start walking. Alright, so not another Pokemon has appeared, and I'm going to show you guys what they actually offer in the shop. So this is if you want to go to the extreme and want to go ahead and buy stuff at the Poke Store that they have. As you can see, their prices are down here. You get 14,500 Poke Coins for $100, 5,200 for $40, $20, and $10 for 1,200 coins. This is if you're gonna spend money on it. You can spend it on a bag upgrade to carry more items and stuff like that. You can upgrade it on your Pokemon storage to carry more Pokemon. You can buy more egg incubators so you can put it in your Pokemon eggs to all hatch at the same time while you're walking. Or you can buy 8 lure modules that will help you lure Pokemon in one certain location at a time. A module that attracts Pokemon to a Pokestop for 30 minutes. Other people around Pokestops can also benefit from the effect. So, if there is another person in that certain location, they will also benefit from your lure modules. I personally wouldn't buy that, in my opinion. You can buy 25 lucky eggs that filled with happiness earns double XP for 30 minutes, which can help you in some way. These lucky eggs help you get more experience points for 30 minutes. If you're trying to level up your character, you will be able to do that with these lucky eggs. Which is just something that they want you to pay for in order for you to get more. You can buy more incense if you want Pokemon Allure to yourself. You can buy more Pokeballs, like you see 200 for Pokeballs, and you will probably have to waste like 800 on it, which is roughly about $10 that you would have to waste in order to get those 200 Pokeballs and maybe something else with it. Which, as you can see, that's what free to play is. Now, another Pokemon hasn't appeared to me at the moment, which I wish they would appear. Usually they appear like really quick. They take some time to appear. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys one more thing that I think is the most essential thing that you should know on how you should plan your game and strategize in order to get more candies. Alright, so we're gonna go to a Pokemon. Let's go to our Spearow because I don't want to get rid of this Squirtle. As you can see, our Squirtle. I'm gonna give you an example of our Squirtle though. It requires a power-up of 200 Stardust and 1 Squirtle candy in order to power up in strength of its CP to become stronger. And as you can see, it has Tackle and Water Pulse. And it requires 25 Squirtle candies. So what I'm going to explain right now is how to get more candies for each different Pokemon. Okay, in order to get more candies, you're going to want to have to capture the same Pokemon repeat. So you're going to have to capture the same Pokemon wherever you can capture it. If it appears to you in a random location, if it's an extra and you already have one, you're going to have to capture it in order to get more candies in order to evolve that Pokemon. Now, when you capture those Pokemons, like repeats of the same Pokemon, replicates of the same Pokemon, I recommend that you save the one that has the highest CP, because in the wild, these Pokemon appear with more CPs. They may appear with the same CP as 10, 14, sometimes 20, sometimes even in the hundreds. I recommend that you wait, that you leave if you have a bunch of Spearows, replicates, I recommend that if you're gonna power it up, I recommend that you leave that Spearow, until last, because that's the one you're going to evolve because it has the more CP, and then when it evolves, it's going to give it more power, and then you can put more Stardust into it as well. So in order to obtain the candies, what you're going to want to do is go to your Pokemon, and you're going to want to get rid of the Pokemon replicates that are lower levels, and leave the highest one for last if you're going to evolve it or so. So for example, we're going to click on this Spearow. This Spearow has 3 candies. You can power it up or you can evolve it. We're not going to evolve this one. We're going to get rid of this to obtain more candies. And Stardust, I don't think we obtain it. Only by capturing Pokemon you can obtain the Stardust. As you can see, Spearow is quite a Pokemon that requires 50 candies in order to evolve, which kind of sucks in my opinion. What you're going to want to do is go all the way down. And what you're going to click here is Transfer. When you click Transfer, it says you can't take it back after it's transferred to the Professor. Do you really want to transfer the Spearow to the Professor? Basically, the Professor is going to take your Pokemon. It's kind of like releasing it into the wild. You're going to say yes, and what that will give you is 1 Spearow candy. So for each Pokemon that you transfer to the Professor or release, he will give you 1 Spearow candy, or for pertaining the Pokemon, like a Squirtle candy or Pidgey's candy, he will give you 1 candy, and that candy you have to keep capturing the same Spearows and keep releasing them or transferring them in order to get more candies to eventually evolve the strongest Spearow that you have, your duplicate. So if you always have to leave 1 Spearow, at least the one that you want to evolve that's already has a high CP level, which is your power level. In my opinion, that's what I call it, the power level. You always want to leave that 1 Pokemon that you're going to evolve eventually at a certain time. As you can see, another Weedle has appeared. We're going to go ahead and capture it. It's probably going to be weak. We're already capturing it because, you know what the hell, you can get it. Also, you can only get the candy from the same Pokemon that you captured. So if it's a Spearow, you have to capture a Spearow to get more candies and transfer. If it's a different Pokemon, then you can't. Anyways, as you can see, this is registered. As you can see, it gave us more points, power-ups, and this one only has 3 Weedle candies, and this one only requires 12 to evolve into its evolution, Kakuna or something like that. So which is kind of good for every different Pokemon. So as you can see, I'm actually gonna go ahead and show you guys how it levels up. So if you're a person that doesn't really care about evolving your Pokemon, you just want to power it up, and you got 200 Stardust. Alright, so we have 300 Stardust, and we can go ahead and level it up, and you need 1 Squirtle candy. So this one can actually be leveled up if you want. You can power it up, and this is what it basically does when you power it up. It raised it up to 14 levels, which is kind of made my Squirtle a little bit stronger. Still kind of weak though, in my opinion. So the CP has gone to level 27, and we wasted a Squirtle candy. Now we need 200 more Stardust in order for this one to level up again. and we won't be able to level it up simply because we don't have enough of the Squirtles. Alright, so the final thing that I want to explain to you guys is that, and I want to give you guys some tips of what I've done in order for me to be better. Alright, I'm going to explain the gym, which is the final thing that I'm going to explain at the gym, and then I'm going to explain some tips on how to get Poke spots in different locations to appear more Pokemon. Alright, for example, at this gym, you have to be close to the gym area or the Poke spot around the circle. We can't actually go to that gym because you have to be at level 5, so keep capturing Pokemon till you get to level 5. You'll eventually get there, and what you want to do is keep capturing Pokemon. You'll eventually get there to level 5, and you'll be able to battle the gyms. But what you have to be prepared is that when you battle at the gym, make sure you know the Pokemon weakness if you can. Make sure you have a Pokemon that is at a high level that will have a CP that's stronger than the Pokemon at the location, or otherwise you may get beaten by the Pokemon that's at that Pokemon gym. Somebody already claimed this gym because they were there first, so that's their Pokemon gym, and they transferred their Pokemon there to put it in that gym. Also, when you first go into the Pokemon gyms and you reach level 5, you're gonna have to choose a team that you want. Team Instinct, Team Mystic, and I forgot what the third one was. It's the Fire type one. You're gonna have to choose a team that you're gonna represent at these gyms. So make sure to choose one and then battle the Pokemon that's there. So as you can see, there's a Pidgeotto, I believe, or a Pidgeot there. That's probably like a 123 CP. Make sure that you have something that may go against this Pidgeot there, because you're gonna probably want something that's at 100 or 50, 160, something at a high level that you feel that will be necessary in order to stop this Pidgeotto before you actually battle it. So you have to have a strong Pokemon. That's what I'm basically trying to say, in order to go against in a battle against it, and you should be able to win if you have a strong Pokemon against it. And that's pretty much it for a beginner stuff, an introduction to Pokemon Go. Now, if you want to know a couple of tips that I may give you throughout this video, I'd be happy to, which, for example, I recommend that you go to locations where you're gonna see a lot of activity going on. I've been to locations around in the car where it shows a lot of Poke spots and gyms that you can claim. Those places usually tend to have a lot of Pokemon and a lot of Pokestops where you can get items. But the most place that I'm going to recommend to you are parks. Why? Because parks are really big and expansive. For some reason, I've been to the park and a lot of Pokemons have appeared at the park for some reason. They're always there and they have appeared to me, and there are so many that you can capture at parks and stuff like that. I go to parks personally because it helps you find different Pokemon there. Another thing that I want to explain is that certain Pokemon will appear in certain locations. For example, if you go to a lake, a river, or something like that, or a beach, you're probably going to end up finding more water-type Pokemons. And if you go into the inner city, you'll probably start finding Porygons, Meowths, and stuff like that. You'll find Pokemon like that in the inner city. And that's pretty much it, I would say. Drive around in the car, have somebody drive you around in the car, be careful, and start capturing Pokemon at different locations or following different Pokestops if you ever have time. That's another thing that you can do, traveling around different locations in the car, or walking around, or in the bike, whichever you prefer. I think a bike would be better because that's kind of like the purpose of Pokemon Go, to go outside and walk instead of being in the car, in my opinion. But anyways, that's pretty much it at the moment for this Pokemon Go. There will probably be updates in the future where you can do battles or trades, but at the current moment, you can't do it with a friend at the moment. You can only do it at gyms, which is kind of sad, but hopefully they'll update it in the future. So yeah, I don't think I can suggest another thing. The last thing is that if you're in a freeway or highway going 60 miles per hour, there will never be a Pokemon that appears on those freeways. Because I tested it out today and nothing appeared at all at the freeways. But pretty much that's all you need to know on how to level up and evolve Pokemon in Pokemon Go. It's pretty simple. Once you get a hang of it, it's pretty simple. Just make sure to have an internet connection on your phone and you should be fine and set to go. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to hit a like on the button. And subscribe to my channel, please, because if I helped you out, why not help me out and subscribe to the channel? I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. And I hope you have a nice day. Peace.